hope you've all had an amazing week. I want to talk now about purpose, being purposeful, and especially when you're creating anything within your business, but especially on social media. So I was thinking the other day about how crazy the online space is. It's almost like it's a second world, like a second reality. You know, we have the reality that our body exists in, and then online we have this reality that our mind exists in. And there's so many different places we can be, so many different platforms we can be in. So which platform should we be concentrating being in with our business? So many different choices, everyone's saying different things, so which one should we be on? Well, that's the wrong question. The wrong question isn't which platform should we be on. The important thing you should be concentrating on is just choosing a platform and then committing to that process and committing to being on that platform and getting good at that platform and turning up every day or every week or whatever you commit to and being consistent for a period of time so that you can start to grow a following on that platform. So it's not so much the important what platform you choose, but the one you're consistent. And the second thing is that you have purpose behind what you're doing on that platform. Now, once you create a system that's easy on that platform, like I have with my simple social media strategy, it's easy then to spread out into other platforms as well and to be purposeful with what you're doing. So you shouldn't just be posting on social media just to post on social media, just to be out there and then waking up every day and it's like, oh, what am I going to do? And just putting stuff out there and you end up like a rabbit with a tail on fire, just running around and you're spreading yourself thin. And when you do that, it's kind of like, you have a piece of toast with some butter and then you put peanut butter on it, but you spread it so thin that you can hardly taste the peanut butter and it's just not satisfying. That's what that's like. You got to be... If you're going to put peanut butter on something, it's going to be nice and thick so that you can taste it, right? We don't want to be like a thin smear of peanut butter when we're on social media. We want to be purposeful in what we're doing so the people that are following us know what we're about and know what we want them to do. And that is the whole purpose behind what we need to be thinking about. We need to be consistent, and then we need to be giving calls to action. And when we create anything online, we need to know what our purpose is for creating it. So did we create it because we want people to join our Facebook group, to go and join our Facebook group? Did we create it because we want people to like us on something? Or do we want them to subscribe to something? Or do we want them to get a download or to join our email list? What is the purpose of creating something? You need to remember what that purpose is. Now, when you're creating something too, you want to only give people one call to action or you're confusing them. Okay, like if you ask them to do too many things, they just get confused about which one they want to do, and then rather than make a decision, they normally just go away. So every time you create something, perhaps your purpose just is to add value that day, to build rapport, to get know, like, and trust. And if that's your purpose, fantastic, as long as that was your purpose. Maybe you don't have a call to action at the end. Maybe it's just so that people can start to see you and get to know you. Obviously, you don't want everything that you post to be like that. You do want to be giving some calls to actions. Now, perhaps your call to action is to join your email list. Perhaps it's not. Perhaps it's to subscribe. So know what your call to action is. Now, remembering that as your business shifts and change, what you want people to do, your purpose is going to shift and change as well. So the challenge comes when you're creating something for like YouTube or a podcast or something like even Pinterest, where it's more like a search engine where people are going to be able to search in the future, and yet they may get taken to something that you created years ago. But then now your purpose has changed of what you want people to do from when you created that. So that's the challenge then of how can you create this content now that is still going to be driving your business in 3 or 4 or 5 years' time. And the trick to that is to use a link that you can switch out where you want it to go. So like, for instance, I use pretty links on my website. So I have the pretty link, but then I can just say in the future, I can say, oh, I don't want people going to that anymore. I've got a new opt-in page. I can go and create the page they're going, change the page they're going to within that pretty link so that they're getting now taken to where I want them to go, even though it's something I created years ago. You could use a bit.ly link and then redirect it, bearing in mind that you have to have a pro account to do that. Or you could just create like a page on your website, like a resources page, like I have done for my podcast. So a resources page, and I did use a pretty link as well in case I want to move where I'm taking them in the future. So then when I talk about something on my podcast, I send them to the resources page and then it's there, but then they can see my other stuff as well. So that's all things to think about now when you're creating your content so that you are being purposeful and you're thinking long-term with your business. Okay, so the takeaway from this video, first of all, choose one social media platform to concentrate on initially and get good at that, okay? And create a system around that. So create the system, so that's the second thing, create a system around how you're posting that will allow you to post with ease so that you're not just hopping up every morning and just going, oh, I need to post something and just randomly posting stuff, okay? So So 1, choose one platform, do it consistently. 2, create a system around how you're posting. 3, once you have that system, you can start to branch out into other platforms, but making sure that you're not spreading yourself too thin. 4, know your purpose for everything that you create. What is it that you want your audience to do when they come across that piece of content? And then 5, use links that are going to allow you to keep that purpose evergreen, so that in the future, in 3 or 4 or 5 years time, when people come across that content, that call to action that you've given them is still going to be driving your business. Okay, I hope that you got something out of this video, and I will see you very, very soon. Have a great weekend.